Eco-friendly, affordable, and sustainable. Briquettes are changing the way we think about energy today. Join me as we interview Mr.
Simon, Managing Director and Founder, Ecovas Innovation. We are a center for clean and green energy services across Africa.
So tell us what inspired you to start this?
It has been quite a long journey, but most especially looking at our environment, how it has been degraded. What inspired me mostly is wondering. My background is engineering and innovation.
Wow.
But mostly we use a sense of imagination. So I used to wonder, why should a tree die because somebody is going to cut it?
That's right.
But also looking at our country, Uganda, we are an agricultural country. Like when you look at bananas, we are the second producer of banana in the whole world.
Right.
But in business, we are 70.
Wow.
So we've not done a lot with our agriculture, the residues. And looking at Kampala alone generates about 1.2 million tons of agricultural waste annually.
Wow.
You've seen what happened to our landfill.
Sure.
And we've talked about this all along. In fact, the last 6 years, I had something in mind that I tried to present to some of our Ugandans and some organizations. That if every landing site, is it the depositing site for waste?
Yes.
If it can be turned into a factory, it would make a lot of sense for environment. And it would employ so many youth, especially youth, our girls, our women, who are applying for jobs after impact. And I want to assure you that waste is the next employer. So that's why we're here as Ecovas, to bring hope to our environment, to our community, and to employ people through recycling, through turning biomass into eco-friendly products. Give an example of biomass briquettes. Give an example of biogas. Give an example of biocereal. So waste is considered as a problem currently. But us as Ecovas, we are saying waste is the next employer
Of the youth.
of the youth and women in Uganda and across Africa. Because when you look at statistics, we all rely on charcoal for cooking across Africa. And looking at our government recently, was telling people to stop cutting down the trees. But what is the solution for our local women who cook on a daily basis? So that's why we are here, to bring hope and ensure our youth that there are jobs in any project related with the environment. Anything we are doing to tackle the environment problem, we are creating a job, the next job. And it's the way to go. Our environment is being degraded, dying, pollution. We're experiencing too much sunshine that is very good, something that is not here. And you can see how the environment is changing, seasons are changing. It all goes back to the effect. And that's why we opted to turn, put a small percentage of the biomass generated from our markets, from our agricultural farms, from the milling machines, turn them into eco-friendly briquettes that are smokeless. They burn for long hours.
Wow.
They are clean, and we will not cut anybody's tree because somebody is going to cut it. So meaning Kampala alone, Jinja alone, Bari alone, Rira alone, every district in Uganda has a collecting center for waste. It is supposed to be a factory, a very huge factory, where youth can go and get skills in recycling and tackling our environment. Unless otherwise, our environment It's dying. And climate change has no segregation. It affects everyone, except no one.
That is true. That is true.
So that's why we are here, and we are looking forward to having, in the next 5 years, we shall have an institute, technology institute related with environment technology, that we shall be training in our community.
Still under EcoBus?
Under EcoBus.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how do you get your raw materials for this?
It is compulsory to get raw materials in Uganda because they are everywhere, except nowhere.
Okay.
As long as every Uganda still eats almost 4 times in a day.
Sure.
Every home, at least minimum, generates about 5 kg of biomass waste on a daily basis.
Wow.
As long as somebody peels that's okay.
Yes.
As long as somebody eats watermelon, as long as eats pineapple, as long as somebody peels sweet potato, as long as somebody in a bin grows sorghum, as long as somebody in Soroti grows peanuts, as long as somebody in Chiroga still grows coffee and processed farm, as long as there's still meal rice, as long as there's sugar cane and bagasse in ginger,
yes.
As long as there are maize cobs in Kakumiro,
wow.
As long as that's all biomass, yes. And it is so painful that the information is limited. Somebody grows 1,000 acres of maize. After harvesting the maize, the seeds, the maize cobs, the other stalks, they are all burnt to clear the farm for the next season. Instead of turning them into clean energy products like briquettes. It is so sad that somebody rears chicken or pig or cow, and then goes back to the forest, pick fire to cook.
Wow.
Goes to the shop to buy chap. Every farmer that has more than 2 cows is supposed to have a biogas system at home that cooks at least 6 hours on a daily basis, as long as you are able to feed it on a daily basis.
Okay. And the waste that is produced in the home.
In fact, every home in Uganda, except no home, is supposed to have a biogas system at home. Yes. As long as you have a septic tank, as long as you have a toilet at home, you are supposed to have a biogas system whereby whatever is generated from home waste and the human waste, it goes to the digester together with other biomass generated in the community. In the process of decomposition, you generate gas in your kitchen. Now the remaining turns into water that we call bioslime. That somebody can sell or take back to the garden and fertilize. Every farm of banana, let's say the west part of Uganda, if you go back to recycling and the vocationalized technical skilling, where people touch. Apart from the school, the classes, after classes, let our children go back behind the classes. Learn a skill. Even if that student gets 9.9, he or she is able to go on the roadside and manufacture the and extract the fiber and turn the fiber into textile, turn the fiber into a carpet, turn that fiber into hair. We have something going on in Uganda where we are helping women to turn extracted fiber into hair. That all goes back at recycling and waste management and touching our environment.
You're really doing a lot of impactful work here. So you walk us through the process of making briquettes?
Yeah, sure. When we are doing a briquette is composed of a number of raw materials. We shall talk of the binders, we shall talk of the fillers, we shall talk about drying, we shall talk about compression, we shall talk about ratios and rationalization. So we have what we call efficient briquette and an inefficient briquette. Their combustion is totally different. We have what we refer to as carbonized briquettes and non-carbonized briquettes. For us at EcoVerse, we are manufacturing carbonized briquettes. So the process starts with collection of required raw materials for briquettes manufacturing. When you bring them to your site, they have to be dry. You dry them in order to be able to carbonize. After drying them, you have to sort them. After the sorting process, you go into what we call carbonization. Carbonization is the heart of a briquette. Otherwise, like I said, our briquettes are smokeless. So if you poorly carbonize, you have a smoky briquette. And you are not contributing to our environment. So like I told you, we have one center where we do carbonization. Then here where we are, we manufacture, like I told you, we have two types of briquettes. And today we are going to see how we manufacture the stick briquettes, how they are manufactured. And like I told you, we bind our briquettes with natural binder. One of the natural binder we use is clay. We still get clay from our communities, and we get clay. Like you can see our youth, that's another job. We have youth who turn the clay into soup because we require a certain weight, a certain grammage of soup to bind in our briquettes. Clay work helps briquette to burn for long hours. When we go inside, we shall show you how we boil cassava flour porridge as a binder. So we bind with clay, we bind with cassava and our char according to the ratios. Like I said, we create employment, we empower youth and bring hope to our youth. All from the university, from the communities. We do not segregate. When you come here, we teach you a skill. In fact, when you come to EcoVert, we do not ask for your qualification. We do not ask for your papers. We teach you, we train to manufacture something at the end of the day. So like I told you, we do a number of activities at EcoVert. And one of the activities, we fabricate. I told you, we have a background of fabrication. So, I'm giving an example. We have set up a number of facilities in Uganda, skilling centers in Uganda for youth. So when you want our skill, we do what is referred as technology transfer. So when you come to our center, you're from Karamoja, for example, we can train you how to turn the sorghum husks into char for briquette making in Karamoja. Then we can fabricate for you. We can fabricate for you a machine that makes the briquettes out of the sorghum husks. So we fabricate different machines. However, we focus on machines that add value on agricultural residues. Like this is a small stick briquette machine that manufactures about 1 ton per 3 hours. And it can go to a community. It uses electricity. And as you can see, we are doing a lot of fabrication. This is also a honeycomb automated machine. One of the first model we are designing locally from Uganda, and it will be helping to commercialize the honeycomb manufacturing in Uganda. So we are going to see how we make our briquettes, the stick briquettes. Of course, I told you we start with clay, we make soup out of it, we boil cassava flour porridge as a binder, we mix it, and then manufacture the stick briquette. Like I told you, our briquettes are clean and smokeless. Giving a simple example, this is a factory and we have a cooking point here. If it was firewood, this place would all be dust. Like now, I told you the briquettes save. You save over 40% when you're using a briquette. However much it also requires a good cooking kitchen. Give an example. We are boiling about 10 liters of water in drum A, 10 liters of water in drum B, and we use only 3 honeycomb briquettes. And each drum has about, this is cassava flour porridge. We have already mixed, can see. Then our mixture is done. This is also cassava flour porridge. Our mixture is done. As I told you, then from there, We come and mix from here. We play our ratios. Cool. Zay, take him. We work with our ratios here. We rationalize. I told you, if you are manufacturing an efficient briquette, you must work with ratios. We weigh the char. We consider how much kile, how much cassava flour porridge, have an efficient briquette. Then from having our ratios centralized here, we go to our mixing machine. And the mixer is also the heart of our briquette. And this is how we mix. So we get our binder, the other side, like what is doing. So when we have our binder, we bring it in our mixer and mix for about 1 minute. So mixing is very, very important. If you are making an efficient briquette, you need to use a mixer. If you are mixing manually, your briquette will appear in a different way when it comes to burning. So we mix shortly, about 1 minute, then we go to the extruding pad of our briquettes. We are manufacturing about 60 tons of stick briquettes every month. And currently we have been invaded by the giants. There are now many compared to what we are producing because they are all looking at saving and looking at using something clean. So they are all coming to us. I was saying someone, we now have a good problem because the demand is currently bigger than what we manufacture. And we are calling upon all Ugandans in every district. Like I said, in every dumping center in Uganda that is supposed to be turned into a clean energy production center or factory to employ youth and women in eco-friendly innovation like manufacturing briquettes. So our processes vary depending on the type of briquette we are manufacturing. You have seen our center for stick briquettes. We have 2 manufacturing areas, and this area we manufacture only honeycomb type of briquette. I told you one of the commercial briquette that cooks between 6 to 8 hours a briquette burning. So we have a process of softening, mixing, and everything here is done manually. That's why I was saying it is easier to transfer the technology to communities. Like when you see here, you won't see anything electrical. We are doing anything manually. But we are able to produce about 1,000 pieces of honeycombs daily using about 5 machines to 6. Because everyone manufactures about 200 pieces per day, which is equal to 1,000 pieces per 5 people every day. Then currently here we dry outside. I told you it depends on sunshine. And when you see we dry out, we manufacture from here, dry out. After our drying, which takes about 5-7 days, we offload the honeycomb briquettes and take to our shop where we do the packaging and other value addition from our shop. And as you can see, our youth are here. They manufacture purposely on a daily basis, then dry. Look after the drying whereby we have to cover. I told you we have a few challenges. Like you can see we are drying in an open space here. If it rains, we have to get our taprins, our sacks and cover them. So that's why I said we are looking at fabricating an instant drying system that can help us, especially during the rainy season. However, for now, we are surviving on sunshine and God's grace on a daily basis. You can see our processes and the youth manufacturing the honeycomb type of briquette.
So how do you call these machines?
These are called manual honeycomb briquetting machine. These manual honeycomb machine work in communities where there is no electricity. We have youth groups. We organize them we train them how to carbonize. So out there we give what we call communal carbonizers. Purposely for them, they are not manufacturing briquettes. They carbonize for us, they make char, what you call carbon for us, then they pack in sacks. So when they bring to our site, we weigh in kgs and we pay them per kg. And currently we are buying a kg of carbonized char at 200 shillings.
Ugandan
So
shillings.
yeah, so this is how they pack. So when we come here, we take to our weighing scale. If it is 100 kgs, we buy 20,000. If it is 50 kgs, we buy at 10,000, like that. So women and youth have got jobs in carbonizing for Ecovas. And you get the carbon from them, mix the carbon with our binder, produce the briquettes, either the honeycomb or the stick, serving different purposes in the communities.
Thank you so much. So what makes you unique and your products as well?
The uniqueness at Ecovas is that we have a background of engineering. And like I told you, in engineering, we use some sense. We call a sense of imagination. That's why we are able to take this project at a higher level, to be one of the best among other briquette producing companies in Uganda, because like you have seen in our processes, we use different machines, small machines, large machines. Having a background of engineering, we modify our machines depending on what we are doing. If, for example, our machine runs at a slow speed, we do not need to go to China. We have brought China technology to Ecovas. So whoever is out there, maybe you're already making briquettes, you have a challenge with your equipment, we can help you modify it, either to speed up or to have a quality briquette. Then also, there are so many processes in the briquette making, and some other manufacturers, they try to remove some processes, like sorting, which is very important, because sorting is the removal of unwanted materials for briquette production. Give an example. If you produce your briquette and it has something like a plastic, when it goes on a stove and it's burning, it will start producing smoke. And current A, B, or C, we will say these briquettes have smoke. So our uniqueness is involved in our processes of how we are doing things at Ecovas and how we are managing. Like you have seen, every sector has a supervisor. When you go to the shop, we have those who sell, those who do marketing, and these are all jobs. Those who do packaging, those who control quality. And these components are lacking in some business.
How many briquettes do you produce, say, in a day in terms of honeycombs?
Currently, for the manual processes, we manufacture about 2,000 pieces per day. However, we are increasing to 3,000 pieces per day due to the forces of demand and supply. For the stick briquettes, we manufacture about 60 tons per month. And we are increasing this time was 5 because we are looking at supplying a big number of clients. However, for the honeycombs, we are strictly looking at supplying all institutions in Uganda, because really it is very sad that the running institutions are the ones degrading the environment for cooking. It is so sad. In fact, every university in Uganda, every vocation, every secondary school in Uganda is supposed to have a factory or a recycling center in every school. For example, I told you, we are done with our research on fecal sludge, where we are going to be manufacturing briquettes from human waste and other generated waste from schools. So meaning a school kitchen is supposed to access energy from a digester built at school, whereby all the human waste goes in the digester together with other biomass. Moreover, there are institutions which has cows. Together with the cows, the peelings, the generated biomass into the system, then the gas returns to the kitchen. And other waste is used to manufacture briquettes. Meaning a tree should not die because moreover a learning university or a secondary school is going to cook.
So there's a lot of potential out there, and people should look into reusing that waste for cooking.
Yeah, in fact, we call this recycling or value added. And every waste is no longer waste, it is somebody's raw material. So meaning if schools come on board, we start adding value on available raw materials in the communities, which will make our country greener and clean. Give an example of recycling all wasted papers in schools into new papers, biodegradable papers, together with other fibrous materials that can be used for packaging. So meaning there is capacity for a school to manufacture a packaging paper for Ecoverse, which is manufacturing briquettes. Meaning we can make our country greener through value addition and recycling technologies in our country.
Thank you so much. This is very insightful.
My name is Betty Bawade. I've used the briquettes for 2+ years in the cooking. For starters, why I want these briquettes compared to other cooking services, cooking stuff, it is economical in a way that a sack that you would use, for example, the normal chef, if you use it for a sack for 2 weeks, that same sack, if you are to use briquettes, it will take you like three weeks plus. So it's quite economical compared to the other. Then it is the heat is inbuilt. You see, this kitchen is like a small kitchen. If it was to if I was to use the other charcoal, I don't know how the heat would be for me in here. But because the heat is inbuilt, we are good here, in here. Then it is smoke free. This wall would be full of smoke by now if I was to use the other cooking stuff. But because of doesn't have smoke, it is friendly to us and for whoever is around us. Doesn't pollute the environment because it doesn't produce any smoke. And it is slow in the cooking. It takes you slowly. If you're cooking, like you're cooking matoke and you want to have it like in the evening, you can have it there. It goes slowly. You manage it that way. Now, like for me, who cooks molokoni, if I was to eat the other one, I don't know how many stoves of charcoal I would use. But with this, because it goes slowly, I'm in position to use 1 sigiri or 1.5 with the briquettes for it to be ready.
Okay. Do you consider this as a clean energy source?
Of course, perfectly well. Because it doesn't damage the environment. It is the environment friendly.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. For whoever doesn't know about the briquettes, should visit Ecoverse in Miss India Sunday and try it out. You will not regret.
Bampita Douglas nsika chapati. Kozesa amanda ga honeycombs gaka bulungi gatuyambako okusevinga. Tetusiiriza nnyo chapati ziba nnungi, namwe mujje muzigezeeko. Mpa omunyote zinungi nnyo.
Let's embrace clean cooking together for the future. See you next time.